Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments, his comments, and your comments in the chat. I am your host, Bronco Bill. My co-host is Kona Spence. Welcome, Kona. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing this week?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How was your week, by the way?
Oh, crazy. You know, the kids are back in school, so it's daddy this, daddy, 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 daddy.
Yeah. No doubt. I'll tell you what, man. I don't know about you, but Southern California, Temecula area where I'm at is cold, bitter cold. At the golf course today, I got to work. Yesterday, it was 31 degrees at 5 in the morning. Today, it was a little bit warmer. It was 37, but that cold wind. But I'll tell you what, we could use it to put out those fires in LA. Poor firefighters and families and people. We're not going to go down that road. We've talked about that last show, but still, it's just very, very sad. Very, very sad. Anyway, we got a great show, great topics. Let's start out. But first we do, thanks each and every one of you each week, every Friday, 5, 6, 7, and 8, wherever you may be, not only in this country, but we have people that listen and watch in Germany, Australia, Canada. It's fantastic. You guys love it. Thank you so very, very much. Hats off to you guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. It costs you nothing. Hit the thumbs up button. That lets everybody know how much you enjoy the show. And let your friends know. Thank you guys so very, very much. All right. First topic, as well as the last topic till next year on this particular one. This is the last recap of a Bronco game for the season 2024. Broncos, Bills, beatdown. That's all I can say. However, before I send it over to you, Spence, my comment on this is I'm not upset. I'm not bummed. I'm not upset. I'm not disappointed. Now, had we have lost 27-24 or 27-26, I'd be disappointed because I'm thinking we're that close. But when you get blown out 31-7, it was close at halftime, 10-7, yes. Blown out 31-7, I'm like, I'm okay. First time in 8 years we had a winning season. First time in 8 years we made the playoffs. We were on house money. I am not disappointed one bit. One last thing about that is the one thing I'm nervous about. If the Broncos don't win 10 games, at least 10 games next year, are people going to look at this and say this was a fluke, that we didn't deserve it? It was a flash in the pan. What do you think?
Hey, I agree with you. We were playing with house money, but win, lose, get blown out, blow out Buffalo, whatever. It was probably the greatest education this generation of Broncos could have. Mm-hmm. You got to play against probably the team, in my opinion, who's going to be going to the Super Bowl, the Buffalo Bills.
Over Kansas City?
Over Kansas City.
Wow. And that game's in Kansas City. If it goes down to Buffalo and Kansas City, it's in Kansas City.
Oh, and they will. And Buffalo remembers, don't play defense the last 13 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
But they got an education, a priceless education, a great learning experience on both sides of the ball. Yeah, you held Buffalo to only 31 points when they've been scoring.
Only.
I say only because they've been scoring much more than that. Yes, you got out to a quick lead. You were controlling the game in that first half. Unfortunately, that missed field goal at the end of the first half took all that great momentum you built up.
I was just going to say, do you think that really did deflate them?
Yes.
I mean, it's only 3 points, and I understand it would have been a tie at 10-10, and Buffalo was getting the ball to start the second half. But 3 points, I don't know. To me, yes, it was deflating, but at the same time, was it catastrophically deflating like it ended up being?
Well, 2 things. One, you can't quantify momentum. Okay, you had all the momentum in the first half. You held them to 10 points. You were moving the ball. You just couldn't put points on the board. You got in position at the end of the half, and that happened. What is one of the biggest and major complaints, especially you, but all Bronco fans have had during this year? We do not make halftime adjustments.
Right.
What happened in the second half? We were outscored 21 to goose egg.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
And again, do you think it's because we didn't make adjustments?
We did not make adjustments.
Right.
We came out the same way, and this is all a learning experience. And so
but Sean Payton should know better than that. I mean, he made adjustments in that Saints-Colts game in the Super Bowl. Why is he not all of a sudden making adjustments? Let me ask you a really important question. Has the game passed him by?
I don't think it has, but I think there's a fear element right now with this young group who doesn't quite grasp the offense, who isn't ready to maybe take that next step. In his opinion, Bo Nix, he's ready. I think he's ready to explode, come out of his, rip that shirt off, show that Superman cape. He's ready. Mm-hmm. Is the entire team ready? And that's going to be one of the big things we're going to see this offseason. What does the Bronco team do to prepare for 2025, coming off a trouncing, yes, but a great education of 2024.
Now, just to wrap up this first topic, I read and I watched the news or the sports that the Bronco players were devastated sitting in the locker room. Now, I don't know why I understand they put their heart and soul into it, but devastated? Nobody expected you to be there. So I'm kind of confused about, sure, this is their livelihood. This is their moneymaker. This is their profession. This is what they love. But devastated, I don't know. They said that some players had their head in their hands and I'm kind of, that's a good sign because that means they really wanted it. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that's a positive. It's a positive, Bill. No matter how you spin it, it's a positive. They care. There is passion. There is heart. This team wants to do better, wants to get better. And every player who was devastated, who showed emotion in that locker room, I applaud them. Show more of that because that's why you truly care and you want to see this team grow. The potential for this team is through the roof compared to any other team, except maybe your other mysterious team that we do not talk about that Mike makes fun of, the Chargers.
We're not going there. We're not going there. No,
not going there.
You can go there.
But I think both these two teams, the Broncos and that other team we won't talk about, have the highest ceilings.
The C word. The C word. Okay, jump in the chat real quick. Batting leadoff is my nephew, Robert Marino. It says, Bill, both our teams are out of the playoffs. It's very sad. Yes, Bronco fans here. Robert Marino is a huge Vikings fan, and I just couldn't believe that game. We'll get into something that happened in that Vikings game. I know Spence is a Rams. You like the Rams, Spence?
Oh, let's just say I was a financial investor in the Rams.
Okay, well, it's been nice to have Spence on the show. So, now it's back to me like it should be. Just kidding. Robert follows it up by saying, this one's to you, Spence. Do you agree or not? Need more veterans on the Broncos team. Don't go young.
I think you need more quality veterans who want to be able to show off that passion. Yes, coming into 2025, we're going to have the 5th lowest cap, salary cap. So we can go out and spend. So yes, bringing in veterans who are going to be good team players, not veterans who think, oh, hey, I'm the number one guy. What you need is a veteran who's just like, maybe on my last leg. I still have something to contribute, but I want to educate these guys, teach them how to be professionals, teach them how to be winners, because once they are done, they could go into coaching.
Yep. Hey, I got to bring up my coworker, Christy, so much, man. So much appreciated. I really do appreciate Christy Pacheco, coworker of mine, really great guy. Says, yo, Wishbone.
Yo, internet, I think you got a problem. So, Christy.
Oh, yeah. It says, so I would see he cut off my end. Why is it wanting to switch back to the? There we go. Anyway, it says go Rams. He's a big Rams fan. But thank you, Christy, for chiming in. Really do appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up button, the like button. Really would like it. Really would appreciate it. Rams. I'll tell you, Rams did look good though. That game was scary. The Rams and the Vikings game. I never thought the Vikings would get run over like that. Never thought. But I mean, what was it? 6 sacks, 7 sacks, something like that. It was 8.
8.
That was crazy. I mean, well, okay. I know we're getting off topic, but hey, that's what the show's about. We just do what you guys talk about in the chat, and then otherwise, why have the chat, right? Why bring up the chat if we're not going to engage them, right? So, Christy brought up the Rams, okay? They were talking before the game about the community of LA is backing the Rams, and the Rams want to desperately win that game. That, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, that they use that game as their stepping stone to the Super Bowl, because that was their motivational game. They had everybody behind them in LA with the fires. They had the media behind them with the fires. They felt the need to step it up. And by God, I have not seen the Rams play like that in quite a long time. I mean, a long time.
LA needed a break. LA needed something to take what is going on with the rest of the world in rest of Southern California away from them. And kudos to you, the Rams. I will tell you this. They're going to be very challenged this week. I think it's going to be a close game. But unfortunately, and Christy, please forgive me, I want the Rams to win, but that Rams rush defense, I don't think can match up well against Philly's rush offense.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a tough game. Be a tough game. Jack Kenna is in the chat, says Bill and Kona salute. Hey, thank you so much, Jack, for being in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Follows that up by saying we all got to root for KC loss. Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's what I want to see in Super Bowl. And I know that if you have the playoff games towards the end, we can talk about that at the end. But I really want to see the Buffalo Bills and Detroit Lions. And here's why. No team of those two have ever won it. Buffalo's been there 4 straight times, not won it. Detroit, never been there. Somebody's going to break that. It's kind of like the Cubs. Thank you, my Cub team. It's like the Cubs. Why you turn your head, Span? It's like the Cubs and the Indians that year, 2016, right? My favorite year of all time. Yeah. Broncos won the Super Bowl in February. Cubs won the World Series in November. Best year ever. But so anyways, it was kind of like that. One of those teams that had lost had to win, obviously, right? That's why I like to see Detroit and Buffalo. I don't know if it's going to happen.
No, and I completely agree with you. If I have no interest in watching a football game, I always cheer for a team that's never won the Super Bowl. Yeah. And especially this year, we got Detroit, who's never been there,
right,
with an opportunity. Buffalo, who has not won it yet. Houston, who has not been there. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm going to be cheering for Houston. Plus, I like Houston to cover the spread.
You got money?
My wife's listening, so I can't say anything right now.
Oops, sorry. Sorry, Anna. I brought it up. I'm sorry. It's
okay.
Speaking of Anna, says my aunt said Kansas City is not going to Super Bowl. Woo! Wow. I wonder why she would say that. I mean, they've been there back to back.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing about Kansas City. I know we're getting off topic. Last year, I could have sworn they were not going to make it out of the Super Bowl. Financial interest took a hard hit because I thought Buffalo was going to get them. I thought Baltimore. The thing about Kansas City is you doubt them, they perform at their best. Even though this year was an off year, their record does not resemble their performances this year. There was at least 8 games they should have lost, including to the Broncos, including to Carolina.
Well, until the whole Bronco left side decided to just lay down. I mean,
Yeah.
what the heck was that?
And the ball was kicked. Bill, you could have kicked the ball higher than our kicker had.
I don't know, man. I mean, if Mike was here right now, he'd go, no, Bill couldn't kick it past, 2 inches. But yeah, it's all good. Robert Moran, my nephew, says we cannot root against Taylor Swift. Come on.
Oh, no.
Can't root against Taylor Swift. Come on.
You want to know something? My daughter JoJo is probably listening right now, and she is a huge Taylor Swift fan.
Well, there you go.
So that's why we're gonna have we're not gonna tell her when Kansas City's playing tomorrow when the game is, because
she's listening right now. She's listening right now, and you just spilled the beans, dude.
You want to know something? I'm in trouble 24/7. So.
Rudy Torres, my brother-in-law from Vegas. Thank you so much, Rudy, for being in the chat. It says Billy, and Spence. Dang right, Bronco Billy. Let's see. Jack Kenna came up with that. Do you know the spread on that? He said, "Isn't the spread 9.5 for Kansas City over Houston?" That sounds about right. Sounds about right.
You know what? I could take a quick peek, but I believe you're right. I would still take the 9.5 points.
What?
Because, well, they played each other in Week 16, and Kansas City got away with an 8-point victory.
Yeah. Anna says, "Boo." I'm not sure what the boo. Oh, about Taylor Swift, maybe.
Uh-oh.
You in trouble?
I'm always in trouble.
All right, let's go to the next topic.
When you get one of these things on your finger, you're in trouble 24/7.
I'm glad I got these earbuds in. Okay, moving on, so we can cover these topics. But no, you guys are great in the chat. Keep it up, man. You guys are great. All right, this one's going to be more directed towards you, Spence. I'm just going to read the intro part. You can carry it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos coach is possibly gone. The 49ers have interviewed assistant special teams coach Chris Bayo for their open special teams coordinator, per NFL Network's Mike Garofalo. Take it from there. What are the other ones that are going to be gone or possibly going to be gone?
You know what? Honestly, I'm hoping none of them are gone, because we've got, especially our gosh, I'm flaking on his name.
We got
right now.
Daniel Shaw, Darren Moji, and Jim Leonard that are all being interviewed for assistant positions on other teams. If we lose David Shaw, that's really not good.
That is not good.
That's not good. He's the assistant to general manager, if I believe.
I believe so. Chris Bayo, why we just fired our special teams coordinator, so why is Chris going to interview elsewhere? If he has a chance. Now, granted, I understand why Ben was fired. We had timely kicking issues on both punter.
But he's not the one that's kicking. How is that on him?
He's the one who selected them.
Well, good point.
Yeah. So what? But also, just we didn't have a great year. I think we were near the bottom 10 when it came to punt returns, kickoff returns, anything like that. So
okay, I see what you're saying. I look at special teams as field goals, kicking the ball into the end zone, and returning kicks. You're right. I don't necessarily think about us punting and not covering, but that's what you're talking about too.
It's a combination of everything. And you know what, Ben, if you're listening to the program, I feel bad for you. I hope you can figure out, but this is now a door open for bringing in fresh opportunities. And for Chris to go look at elsewhere at the 49ers, is he not trying to implement a new system with the Broncos? So,
yeah,
this is a crazy time where let's just see what happens. If people want, the Broncos, as we said earlier, the Broncos have a high ceiling right now. They are on the up and up. It's like if you're buying a stock, You're buying a stock that is going this way, not that way.
Right.
So why do you want to leave? If you want to leave for the big cash payout, go be a coordinator with the Jaguars. Go be a coordinator.
But don't you think that that's what really drives these people? Fame, fortune, money.
Well, hey, I believe winning brings fame and fortune.
Sure.
If your intention is just, and we've seen this with star athletes in all sports, they take the money and don't care about the win because they don't think when you win, there's all those peripheral things like advertisements, sponsorships, that leads to extra money. Even though I was so anti-Tom Brady, he always took a pay cut to bring in more talent.
Do you realize, and I know, it's funny. I'm not going to say we're getting off topic anymore because you know what? This whole show goes in many different directions.
This show's really always off topic.
Yeah, well, more off topic than when Douglas was here. But, John Elway, I don't know if people realize this, but back in the day, of course, 97, 98, they weren't making the money that they are now. But John Elway, in order to keep Shannon Sharp and number 80, Rod Smith, Terrell Davis, all those guys, the interior line, the defensive guys, all of them, Steve Atwater, John Elway took the minimum quarterback salary at that time was $350,000 a year. Yep. And he did it for both years, 97 and 98. What was the result? You kept those core players and you won back-to-back. That's how much John Elway wanted a Super Bowl ring. And not only did he want one, I said, you know what? This is fun. I'll do it twice. So that's the point I'm trying to make. But you're right. People chase the money now. Why? It's more money.
But also, you know what? When you chase the money, that shows what kind of team player.
Right. Well, that's true. That's true.
You're not.
All right. Go ahead.
No, and this is where the culture of the Broncos is growing and developing right now. We're developing team players and team personnel. And this is going to be our general manager's biggest season in his career ever. You've got a culture that's improving. You've got a culture that's growing. You want to bring people in who match that culture, who match that vision. You don't want to bring in, I don't want to see the top tier linebacker coming in here unless he's willing to take a little pay cut because he wants to have a better team surrounding him. This is the vision that the Broncos need to have. Don't overpay people to get them here because of talent. I want to see Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl.
That's my nephew. You do?
I want to see him in the Super Bowl, just not this year.
Who do you want this year? Now that I already said I want Buffalo, Detroit.
Me too.
Yeah, okay. All right. Jack Cannon has a question for both of us. I'll let you start out first. It says, to Bill and Spence, what do you feel about not playing Estime against the Buffalo Bills?
I think that was a mistake.
What do you think the reason was for sitting him and playing Williams? He was a healthy scratch. I know. I had the same reaction. Mike and I had the same reaction in the neighborhood. Don't understand why.
There was no rationale unless he was sick, hurt, or something else.
They said he was a healthy
violated
scratch.
the TIGs. You know what? There's something, but we may never really know. It could have been, hey, you violated this curfew or something like that. Well, this is your education, so you know how to be a better professional for 2025.
Good point. Never thought of that because they said he was a healthy scratch, so it could be you're right. Rudy has a comment and statement for you. He says, when you're married, Spence, you're serving a life sentence. Oh, shoot, your wife is still listening. Holy crap.
Oh, trust me. She is judge, jury, and executioner for me. So, honey, I love you to death. And you know what? I am happily serving my life sentence very happily because she lets me have my beer.
Hey, it's a trade-off, right?
It is
Take
a
one
trade.
for the team, and she lets you indulge. There you go. Jack Kenna has this one for you. It says, at Spence, Denver way overperformed and only going up. Yes or no?
I agree. And as I said last week, look at the schedule. They had a very, very favorable schedule where they got wins against easy teams. Next year, they're going to have a little bit tougher schedule. So, but everything is going up. What I want to see right now is who you're going to get in the draft and who you're going to get in free agency that's just going to help build the momentum that this team has. And going off topic again, I want to see who Bo Nix is going to work with during the offseason. If I was him right now, I would hire Drew Brees as a consultant.
Who? Drew Brees, yeah.
Drew Brees. Yeah. I would say, Drew, come up here to Colorado, work with me for a week, a month,
How about Peyton Manning?
That was going to be the other one, but who knows Sean Payton's system the best?
Yeah.
I would say this, Bo, take every last dollar you got, whatever Drew Brees wants on a weekly basis, you pay him and you get him up here and you work with him. You take him out, you work with him on the little things. The little details is what's going to help improve him. Peyton Manning is going to help with the bigger picture because
the cerebral part up here, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of the things that I want to see from Bo Nix. Not that he's off doing this, doing that, playing celebrity golf tournaments.
You don't want him to hook up. You don't want him to hook up with Aaron Rodgers and do that hookah thing down south or something. You don't want him to sit in a room and go kumbaya. No, you don't.
No. I want him to go kumbaya Bronco playbook.
Hey, real quick. Robert Marino says, instead of asking players to take a pay cut, how about asking owners to invest in players? Not quite sure what that means, but I think that means what?
No, owners to invest in players. You mean pay players more? Yes, but again, this is where you want to see quantity with quality.
Right.
You want to get as many good players as you can, but you don't want to go top tier where your salary cap is through the roof and you can't get more people to fill spots. I would love to see them go out and get three linebackers. I love this show. The other night,
other MHRT guys may not like this. Thanks, Jack. Jack, thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate it. I know, keep my hat on, but whatever.
Hey, no, Jack. Because we are celebrating happy hour with you. We are doing happy hour with you. We're talking from the heart. You've got two Grizzly veterans of the Broncos who know the life of a Bronco fan. I went to my first football game in Denver. I think it was 1985. It was a snow game between the Chargers and the Broncos. My Uncle John took me to the game when my mom. Hey, good evening, Mohammed.
Hey, Mohammed, thank you so much, Madri, for being in the chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very, very much. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you had a good Christmas and New Year's. Anyways, continue there.
No. My Uncle John took me to a snow game, my very first football game at Mile High Stadium between the Chargers and the Broncos. And I was so happy with it. Of course, we both got in trouble by my mom, who was like, why'd you take him to the Broncos game in the snowstorm? Because that's what you do in Colorado. You go to a snow game.
Yep, exactly. All right, we're going to go to the next topic. These next two topics are about Bo Nix. This topic is absolutely amazing. I want you guys, seriously, put yourself in this position and see if you would have lasted. Listen to this. Bo Nix is one tough dude, but how tough is he really? Well, during the locker cleanout, Bo Nix revealed that he played through an in-season transverse process fracture of his back. Whoa. Stop. Game 17? Nope. Was it game 17? Was it playoffs? No. Listen, Knicks played through the Broncos' wins against the Vegas Raiders and Cleveland Browns with that broken back. The injury happened against the Raiders game on November 24th, almost a month ago. Knicks also said there were 3 lumbar, part of his bone, lumbars, involved in his lower back. He was able to play, according to the article, he was able to play the games because they got treatment. Didn't say what treatment, but he got treatment and was able to play. Oh my gosh. My comment and my last thought is this. He's a rookie. He got severely injured. Play through it. Does his career go backwards next year? Does he get surgery? Is he out 6 to 8 months? A season? I don't know. Didn't say. I have no clue. What do you think of that, Spence?
I think he is just proved to everybody on these Denver Broncos, hey, I'm hurt and I'm out here fighting for every last
But his career could have ended had he had a spinal injury.
Yes, and could have, but it did not. And after hearing this, you go back and review all those times he dove for when a run, or he slid and he took an awkward hit, and now you put the pieces together. I will just say this. Bo Nix, if I had any talent left in my 56-year-old body, I'd be out there fighting with you. That is the message he is sending to everybody in that locker room. No matter what you're feeling today, no matter the pain you're going through, we fight together as a family. And that's the culture he wants to create for this team. And now who's going to get behind him?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, somebody comes in the locker room now and says, oh, Doc, I got this bruise on my thigh and it really hurts to walk. You can look over at Bo Nix, and Bo Nix going, yeah, you better be out there. Look what I got right here. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. I just thought of this. As a rookie and what he did on the field, game-wise, not injury-wise, game-wise, and got numerous awards for what he did, accomplishments, and he takes that type of injury and continues to play.
Yeah.
Nobody in that locker room had ever go to him and say, I can't play. I got a headache. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like John Madden, you know what I'm saying? That kind of, but it's true. You can't look at a guy who's taking more than anybody else and say you can't do it. You know what I mean?
No, and this is where, to use a war analogy, if your general is out there fighting his you-know-what off as hard as possible, wouldn't you want to be right there by his side, fighting just as much as you want to? This is now the culture that Bo Nix is developing. If I'm out here with all these injuries, you get out here too. Yep. And now the team just needs to learn how to win. This is going to be a great season coming up. Tougher schedule. Now you have to go and learn how to win against teams with a winning record, with a playoff record, playoff competition.
Yep.
The momentum is there. How do you build on it on the offseason? I know
Robert Marino, my nephew, comes up with a good question. He said the only reason why he's bringing it up is because of what I don't know. It's just coincidental because I didn't tell him about this. But he said, do you want another uniform change this coming season? Okay. It's interesting, that he brought that up because I read where Greg Penner, part of the Broncos ownership group, said that he did a survey and found out that the majority of Broncos country loves the throwback uniforms from the 70s. And he's thinking about making that more of a change. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'll tell you why. Okay. And I know it's money. I get it. But they already made a change. It's going to look stupid if they change again. It's like, what? You can't make up your mind? I was totally against the change. I will admit it. Everybody knows I was totally against the uniform change. I freaking Love them. I absolutely love them. I love the long stripe down the side with the little shorter stripe. I love the blue pants. I love the blue jersey. It's clean, it's sharp, it's awesome. Don't screw it up. Don't. Don't mess with it. And if they want to go to a throwback, that's fine. But don't make it the norm. Don't do it. Don't mess with this. All right, your comment.
Hire us to be uniform consultants.
I agree.
I mean, no, because you and I have the historical sense of the uniform. We love, teams didn't change uniforms for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, and you grew it and you love it. Now they're doing it every other year because, well,
and
it's more,
of course, and they're adding in throwback, and you can alter your helmet and make it a snow cap. I mean, yes, you're right. It's all about the almighty revenue that the NFL is so freaking good at. You got to admit, they are good at marketing. They are really good at marketing.
They're good at marketing, but come on. How many more Elway uniforms do I have to get? Do I have to get another Peyton Manning uniform? Do I have to get another Bo Nix uniform? Come on.
Yeah, the NFL says you do.
Yeah, of course.
All right, Jack Cannon brought it up, and that's the very next topic. So I'm gonna leave it up there because this is gonna be about your expertise. Bo Nix has been named one of the 6 finalists for the 2024 Pepsi Zero Sugar NFL Rookie of the Year award. The other 5 are Jaden Daniels. Not that I don't think he's good, but to me, he's like a shoo-in. But anyways, we get to that in a minute. Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., and Bucky Irving. I don't know the last 2. They probably must be in the NFC or in a team I don't follow, which not too many of them unless they're in our division. But Jack Cannon says, question, who's the Rookie of the Year? Me, it's Bowers. He's a Raider fan. Bowers played for the Raiders. I get that. That's all well and good. Bowers is a fantastic tight end. Reset all tight end records ever. Not Daniels, Nix, or the Giants wide receiver. When you set all-time records with 3 backups at quarterbacks, he's saying, don't you think that goes to Bowers?
Hey, if I had a vote, honestly, it would be Bo Nix 1, Bowers 2, Jaden Daniels 3.
But they're going to give it to Daniels because Daniels.
They're going to give it to Daniels.
He's still in the playoffs.
Exactly. It's not who performed the best, who broke records, who put up the best numbers. It's what media market you're in, unfortunately. So Jaden Daniels in Washington, D.C., East Coast. Hey, Bowers, I would love to see him on the Raiders with Bo Nix.
On the Raiders, you mean Broncos?
Broncos, sorry. I'd love to.
Well, Spence had just committed the ultimate Broncos Breakdown mistake, unforgivable mistake. That is saying that Bo Nix is going to a rival team after 1 year. So he has now been officially banned. No, I'm just kidding. No. Where'd you go, dude?
I banned myself for a moment. No, I would love to see those 2 work together. Now, granted, I don't want to.
Bowers is not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere.
Do you know? I'm going to ask Jack. Hey, Jack, in the chat, if you're still there. Would you equate Bowers with who was the Raiders tight end of the day with Kenny Stabler?
Christensen.
Yeah. Would you, Jack, associate him at the same type of talent, more or less? Just wondering, because I'll tell you. But there was another guy that was involved in the Holy Roller against the Chargers. Who was that? Come on, Jack. I know you would know this. I hope you would. Kenny Stabler kind of did the underhand. You could see him. What is his name? Good gosh. I was so happy because I hate the Chargers. I love to see the Red win. Was it Christensen? Is that who it was? Christensen? Boy, this turned into a Raiders show. Boy, I should play that clip. Wow. That escalated quickly.
So I'll say this about Bowers. If the Raiders were a playoff team or had a winning record, I think he would get a lot more notoriety. Being on a team that didn't have a great season, unfortunately, does not help him.
Sure.
With the voting media.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier there, Bobby. Jalen Daniels is the only rookie in the playoffs. I know. Tim Brown was a wide receiver, Bobby. I'm talking about tight end. Was it Christensen? I can see him. Oh, my gosh, I can see him in my mind's eye. Anyways, the ball went in the end zone. They called it a touchdown. They called it a fumble, even though he shoveled it forward. It's a whole thing. That was called the holy roller play. You don't remember that?
Oh, I remember that from the 70s. So they changed the
rules
in the NFL.
That's it. Dave Casper. That was it. Dave Casper.
I thought he was a wide receiver, not a tight end.
Okay, but either one, it kind of fun. But anyways, because I was a fan from 74, Dave Casper, yes. Bowers will probably be the best ever, but he's a rookie. Okay, all right, good. I'll tell you what, Bowers is good, though. He is.
Bowers is good, and if the Raiders can find someone to throw it to him on a consistent basis and win a few games, they'll be more competitive.
Yeah, I agree. All right, the second part of the Pat Surtain. Oh, no, excuse me. Where'd the Bo Nix one? Did I already do the second one? Oh, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. My bad. All right, moving on. Yeah. I know. I'm kind of freaky sometimes. It's a Friday, man. It's supposed to be
it's happy hour.
Friday. It is.
It's happy hour
all the time. I'm happy we're doing this show. I'm not too sure about the people that are watching, but hey. Anyway, all right.
Hey, and I hope everybody who's with us, you enjoy your happy hour. We're trying our best to help you out here. So cheers to you guys.
Absolutely. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? That's why we come on at 5 o'clock, guys.
Amen.
Well, okay. Pat Surtain had one personal goal at the beginning of the season that he wrote down, didn't tell anybody until the end of the season he was going to reveal it, which he did. Here it is. Before the Broncos 2024 NFL season began, Pat Surtain wrote down his personal goal. That goal was revealed by Surtain as follows after the game. He said, I want to win the Defensive Player of the Year at the end of the season. Ironically, he is the front runner to receive that exact award. My question is, should there be any doubt? Pat Surtain was the absolute best. Then I know people are going to say, Khalil Mack or TJ Watt or somebody. They're going to name all these other players, right? I get it. Go back and look what PS2 has done all year. Shut down the number one receivers all freaking year. No doubt in my mind, if he doesn't win it, this NFL committee hates the Broncos. I know I'm getting wound up because this irritates me to no end.
Unfortunately, in this league where they want to see numbers, Patrick Surtain shut down number one receivers who didn't get as many yards. Is that the colorful numbers they want to see? They probably want to see, you had 15 interceptions, returned 5 of them for touchdowns.
But when you shut down the likes of
Jamar Chase.
Who? Jamar Chase, yeah. You shut down the likes of Jamar. Do you realize, and I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I mentioned that Jamar Chase lined up opposite a PS2. He caught 3 passes for 27 yards. The entire game against the Steelers on the very first drive, he caught 3 passes for 27 yards.
Yep.
Who's the best defensive player in the entire league? Come on. There better not be any dispute over that. If there is, this league is rigged.
Well, no, it's political media. I know we're not supposed to be political here, but the media who believes that football, in my opinion, football doesn't exist west of the Mississippi River except in Kansas City.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw that and I thought, if he doesn't win this, if he legitimately doesn't, if that goes to, let's say, TJ Watt or I don't know, who's one of the safeties or corners that people talked about at the beginning of the season? I can't remember, but name whomever. They can't be any better. I mean, PS2 has won numerous awards as corner for his play. Nobody throws to that side. We watched the entire Broncos Buffalo Bills game, correct?
Yeah.
How many times did you hear the name Pat Surtain? Not too many.
Not too many.
They don't throw to his side. Why? Because he's that freaking good. He is a Champ Bailey, in my opinion. And he's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. All right.
Reminds me of during our era in the 80s, Darrell Griffin with the Washington Redskins, who was shut down cornerback, who they never threw to him because they knew what would happen if they ever threw to him.
Well, Jack Kennedy just gave a big, huge compliment to Surtain. Said the only player that can keep up with Bowers is Surtain. And keep him in, I agree. Unfortunately, Surtain can't cover everybody, and that's the problem. Then you got PJ Locke who can't cover anybody. So oh my gosh, I wish we could clone PS2 guy. And just to think, in his very first year, his dad was calling him saying, "You got to get out of Denver. You got to break your contract. You got to go to a winning team. You got to go to a team who's on the up. You're on a team that's going down." You haven't heard anything from his dad now, have you? I know.
Yeah. Go get the money. Go to a team. Take all the money, and you'll be on a losing team.
Yeah.
Patrick Surtain, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not all about the money. It's about these things, the rings.
Yep.
Okay. You build an organization. The money comes from winning the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Ask Patrick Mahomes. Ask everybody on Kansas City. That's where the money comes from.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of Pat Surtain on defense, a lot of Broncos country would love to see Vance Joseph go bye-bye, right? Not so fast when it comes to Denver Broncos defense players. Listen to this. Vance Joseph is being sought after to be a head coach again. Some in Broncos country would relish the fact that he would be gone. Not with Broncos defensive players. Pat Surtain said about Joseph, and I quote, "He builds chemistry. He builds camaraderie. He builds the standard. Knowing the standard that was set this year," that's a key point, knowing the standard that was set this year, having these guys back and set the standard for next year and years ahead would be huge. I'm very excited for the future of this team, end quote. There you go. What do you think?
I would say this. If Vance Joseph runs to a head coaching job right now, it doesn't end well. He would be chasing the money. If he continues to build and build and build, he's going to learn from Sean Payton how you build a defense that he's in charge of while also building an offense that he can peripherally see. I want Vance Joseph to stay because he has the tools in place to build it. He needs to adjust his play calling, like playing zone defense at the wrong time. Mm-hmm. That's a learning curve there.
But he's been a defense coordinator for a number of years. This ain't his rookie year.
But at the same time,
different head coach, true. Different players.
There are people who are amazing coordinators, just can't be a head coach. The one that comes to mind is McDaniels from the Patriots. Was an amazing offensive coordinator. Came to Denver.
Yeah.
Now he's going to be having another job maybe soon.
Yeah.
You know what? That is a huge stepping stone, going from being a coordinator to a head coach. It is a jump and a leap and a bound that only the almighty and only the powerful people who know how to balance everything can do. Vance Joseph, I think he's got potential, but working more with Sean Payton, he's going to probably learn how to be a better head coach when the time comes and the right situation comes for him. Not right now.
Rudy, my brother-in-law, you cracking me up tonight, man. He says, so if we get to the Super Bowl, oh, wait, we suck again.
Oh, no, we suck again.
Classic, man. You got to laugh, but, going back to, obviously talking about this season, going back to that, wasn't it such a really great season, though? Nobody expected, started out 0-2, and then we run off some games and we win some games, and we got that close game against the Chiefs. We had that comeback game against the Cleveland Browns. We had the sweep of the Raiders. Sorry, Jack. Had the sweep of the Raiders. We split with the Chargers. It just really, there were really some. No, we lost it. We lost the Chargers. You're right. We got swept by Chargers. That's right. We split with the Chiefs. Duh. Of course, that was a cakewalk because they didn't care. But there's games in there where you look at it and you're like, man, that felt good. That was a fun game, kind of thing. Then there was some ones that you look at and just kind of cringe. But overall, it was a good year. It was a good year, But hey, in the end, oh no, we suck again.
I think in the end, if I remember right, we only really had one real bad loss. We were competitive in most of our games. Denver looked awesome this year, taking the quote from Jack. They looked good. Granted, look who this is the other side I look at. Look at the schedule we had. So we kind of had some weaker teams, and we had the NFC South, which got obliterated in the well, not obliterated in the playoffs, got eliminated in the playoffs.
No, we got obliterated. Yeah, we did. We gave 21 points in the second half, and we just went.
No, I'm saying the NFC South, who we competed against.
Thanks, Rudy. Thanks, Rudy, for the super sticker. Really do appreciate it, Rudy. Thank you so very much. I know keep my hat on, so I'll just do this to you. Here's to the Stanley Cup champions. Yeah, Avalanche, the hat. Anyways, Rudy, thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate it. Okay, now I can't play that video.
No, don't worry about it. Hey, Rudy, thank you for contributing to our beer fund. We really do appreciate it.
Now, Conan. Hey. Now Conan doesn't have to ask Rob Walton. For the he can chip in his $5. So that's good. Actually, it's $2.50 because we split it, dude. But it's all good.
No, I don't. You know something. I don't see it.
Actually, it goes to the network, and then it's all.
It goes to the network, and any money that comes to me goes to my kids because they got to go shopping.
But I do want to say, thank you so much, Rudy. Really do appreciate it. Much appreciate it. Like I said, for guys, if you do want to do a super chat, super sticker, whatever, really do appreciate it. Super chat means you can make a comment. Super sticker just means you do what Rudy did, and really do appreciate it. If you feel so inclined, you enjoy the show, whatever the case may be, we do appreciate it. Not necessary, but very appreciated. All right. It's okay. So,
next topic.
Hang on a second. Says at me, go San Jose Sharks. Give them a couple of San Jose Sharks. Yeah, I know. I'm an Avalanche fan. Sharks have always given the Avalanche fits. Always giving them fits. Last night, I didn't even want to talk about last night because I'm gonna throw up. But we had a 3-0 lead over the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid only got one goal. Leon Draisaitl got none. So I thought the Avalanche had it in the bag. No. Lost it 4-3 in the third period. Okay, moving on. Because I'm about ready.
And honestly, I was talking to Bill about this earlier. I'm a Kings fan here in Los Angeles. Go Kings, go! So I'm hoping the Kings and the Avalanche see each other in the playoffs, so I can wear my Kings jersey for the neighborhood of the Avalanche.
I need to talk to Mike and see if I can't get a replacement host. This is not working out at all, guys. Anyway, speaking of the Rams earlier, This is scary. Now we go back to the Buffalo Bill guy. Now who was the guy in Buffalo that took that hit against Cincinnati? Hamlin. Okay, remember that guy's where he took that shot in the chest and he went down. It wasn't breathing. I mean, he was dead. Woo! I mean, I hate to do it that way, but he was done. And they brought him back, which is thank God that they did. Football is a violent sport. Football is a dangerous sport. Football can end not only your career, but your life. Okay? This wasn't as bad, but it's still scary. Listen to this. Rams tight end Tyler Higbee had to be sent to the hospital after suffering an injury in the Vikings playoff game against the Rams and was coughing up blood. Higbee suffered a chest injury. It didn't say where. Obviously, it's going to be in your lungs. So it's somewhere up in the upper chest. That's around the heart area. Is this something that the NFL really needs to pay attention to? Before you answer that, let me finish with the sentence. Rams coach Sean McVay said that Higbee was stable and sounded good, and the game time decision would be made prior to the game between the Eagles. Is this something that the NFL needs to really like? Is there something they can put across here? Like, you know, that helmet thing that they put on now, that like little sponge thing or whatever that thing looks like on their helmets now that they can wear. It's they have to get permission from the NFL, cleared by the doctors and all that before they go. Not anybody can just wear it, but it has to be. Is that something that you think the NFL should look at in the chest area? Because we're talking hearts, we're talking lungs, we're talking chest cavity. I mean, is the NFL getting too rough? Is there something that needs to be done? What's the deal?
You know what? I've talked to people about this, and the NFL is getting bigger, stronger, faster. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to put on my geek helmet here with my physics. You know, E equals MC squared. Energy equals mass times acceleration squared. These guys are getting faster, causing more direct pain, more direct hitting, more velocity, more potential and kinetic energy is being exchanged.
So there has to be something there to protect. I mean, the quarterbacks have a rib cage that you see a lot of them wearing because is that something? I'm thinking that's something the NFL. But then again, you add more weight to the players, they make them slower. So I don't know. I don't know what's. But you can't watch an NFL game and see what we saw last year with Hamlin. You can't see that. That's not something we all want to see.
And this is where technology has to come in to develop shoulder and rib pads that are better. I don't think there was a famous movie that came out, not going to promote it, where robots were doing what the humans were doing, playing football. I don't think we want to see that. We want to see man on man, human on human. We love the pure love of this sport. But there comes a point where these guys are getting so much bigger. They're getting so much faster. Mm-hmm. And that impact point is getting to be a lot more forceful.
I mean, sure.
Who knows during the 70s and 80s when the cameras weren't there and the reporting wasn't there, how many more guys may have had a situation like this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We just need technology to help us. I love this game. I don't want it to ever go to a point where we're watching robots playing, doing all these moves and everything like that. Would love to see humans continue to do this, but there's the ethical question. When does it get too big, too strong, too violent?
Too fast.
And it's not something I'm going to be honest. I'm not something I want to hopefully answer during my lifetime. Hopefully the next generation can answer it. But that is the question that we don't want to have to see someone like Hamlin or worse ever again.
Absolutely. All right. Jack has a question for you. That's Spence. I hate the LA Kings, but I have a great story if you want me to post it. Go ahead and post it, Jack.
Post it.
Yeah, that'd be
Jack,
great.
I'm going to tell you this. My first ever sporting event that I went to, my dad got playoff tickets for the Boston Bruins versus the LA Kings. I think it was 74 or 76. I'm dating myself. and we were up against the glass, and I'm here at 8 years old banging on the glass, and everybody's like, no, don't do that. The Kings scored a goal. They all came right to the glass and banged on it right where I was. My dad looked at me. He's like, you started something. So I love Kings hockey. I was a fan of the original Colorado Rockies.
There you go. LA Kings versus Sharks. Gretzky number 99 versus Sharks. As soon as the puck dropped, McSorley versus Jeff Rogers.
Oh, yes.
It was awesome.
Oh, yes. I remember that. And a quick side story. There used to be a bar in El Segundo, California called Stickenstein. I wish it was there. But all the players, after they played the game, and referees would come to that bar after a game, and they would have drinks and talk until 1, 2, or 3 in the morning. I had some of the best discussions with referees who would tell me, oh, yeah, these guys would talk to each other before the game and said, okay, second period, we're dropping gloves and we're doing this and doing that.
Wow.
They had 5 bets. The referees knew everything about it and just had it was some of the best time that I ever had and conversations. And these players were so upfront and so open with all the hockey. I am a hockey enthusiast. I love it. I always say,
obviously, Avalanche.
yeah, these guys can do on skates what we can't even do on our own 2 feet.
Oh, yeah, you got that right. I got that right, man.
I love this.
Jack. All right, man. Well, thanks so much for being in the chat, man. Really do appreciate it. And thanks again, man, for your comments and your support. Absolutely. Good night, my friend. Good night. All right. Tony Dungy. Next to the last topic, guys. I know you guys are all probably going, yay. Hey, we passed the 1 hour witching hour. We are into overtime, as I call it. So we're into overtime. But we're not going to go into double overtime. I promise that. So, so we're going to wrap it up here. It's the next to the last topic. Here it is. Tony Dungy. Now, he knows a thing about winning. He does. Tony Dungy on the Broncos after the Broncos lost to the Bills handily by Buffalo. Listen to what he said. It's important. After the Broncos lost to the Bills last Sunday, Tony Dungy had this to say about the Broncos. Of all the teams that lost in the first round of the playoffs, the Broncos are the franchise that's best positioned to have success moving forward. Why would he say that? Oh, wait a minute. Was it because we won 10 games with a rookie quarterback when Vegas had us only winning 5.5 games? Possibly. Let me continue. Denver believes in their young quarterback. This is him saying, still quoting. Denver believes in their young quarterback. They've got a defense that is a playmaking unit, and it's aggressive. I think the Broncos going forward, they're on the uptick, end quote. There you go. From Tony Dungy, who knows quite a bit about what it takes to win, made that comment about the Broncos after they lost 31-7. What do you say about that, Spence?
100% agree. There is a culture within this organization that is building and within this team that is building. And this offseason, as I've said before, is going to be their biggest in this generation. Who do you draft? Who do you bring in? Who do you replace? So players who are moving on or going to other teams. The culture and someone who's going to have that same attitude, that same fight, who wants to go. This is a potential playoff / Super Bowl team in development. Something like we saw in Kansas City, something like we saw in Baltimore. They just need to bring in more pieces together and get more education behind them.
So do you think Tony Dungy is saying, okay, the Broncos are on the precipice of moving upwards towards that Super Bowl, which we all believe because we got Bo Nix and how we played this year? Problem I have with that is, when is the window closing for players like Pat Surtain, Cortland Sutton, Bo Nix, Estime, Franklin? I mean, I know that they're all different because of some are rookies and some are veterans like Cortland Sutton and whatnot. I guess what I'm trying to say is, do you think that Tony Dungy is saying that they are close to making this a norm, or is he saying it's a work in progress that could take 5 to 7 years?
I think it's a work in progress to take 1 to 2 years. It could take 1 to 2 years. You've got to get a few more pieces. I think you've got to get a few linebackers in there. You've got to get more reps on the offensive side. You need that second receiver. Hopefully, Bo Nix's buddy from Oregon, we can
Troy
draft
Franklin.
him. Yeah.
Oh no, the guy we want to draft this year?
Yes.
I don't think he's falling to 20 or 21, whatever we are.
You know what?
Trade up, dude. Trade up.
Trade up. There is the possibility. Here is now the downside. Look at the division you're in. You're with Kansas City. Proven.
We made the playoffs, so we're going to play higher seeds.
I know, but look at the division you're in, and you have to get above these guys. Kansas City, established, going for Super Bowl 3 in a row. You've got the Chargers.
Okay, you're muted. Never mind, you're muted. We can't talk about them. Go ahead. No, you're good.
You've got that other team from LA.
No, you can say it. You can say it. We got the Chargers.
No, but you've got that other team from LA who has got a coach who is a proven commodity. So this is the internal battle we have in our division.
Oh, you didn't even mention Jack's favorite team, the Raiders?
Who?
Oh, well, Jack's gone, so you're okay.
Jack, I'm sorry, but as soon as you get a quarterback, they're going to be in the conversation. So, Jack.
The quarterback is part owner, Tom Brady. There you go. There's your quarterback. Wouldn't that be crazy if he ever came? Wouldn't that be crazy if they allowed him to play?
Oh my God! No,
at age 45 or whatever. Holy smokes!
He's not giving up that contract he has with Fox to come back and play quarterback.
He's not doing that.
But just getting back to it, this is the division you have to get out of to be able to take that big step. The potential of the Broncos right now is very, very high.
Yeah.
This is, as I said, this offseason is going to be crucial to their development. Who do they get in to bring in? Do they get some more linebackers? Do they get some offensive line help? Do they get a special teams coach who's going to make a difference? Yeah. Sean Payton's got a huge job, and Bo Nix has got even a bigger job.
Oh yeah.
Learn that playbook. Know every play inside and out, and take your buddy Cortland Sutton out to drinks, out to dinner. Learn what Cortland Sutton is going to say before he's even thinking it, so that you two are on the same page.
Right.
And pray that Bo can get his buddy from Oregon to be his second receiver. Love Franklin. I love Franklin, but there's a chemistry thing here that could potentially develop.
Yep. All right. We're going to get into the last topic. Once again, guys, before we do that, thank you so very much for your participation in the chat. Even if you're not in the chat, those watching, wherever you may be, thank you so much for taking out a little over an hour, about an hour and 9 minutes of your Friday evening. Very busy Friday evening, brand new year, all of that going on. Thank you guys so much for your support. Please hit the thumbs up button, the like button, the subscribe button. If you have not, tell your friends, your family, your relatives, your enemies, tell anybody. We do appreciate it. Thank you so very, very much each and every week. I can't speak for Spence, but I think you'd say the same.
I would.
Okay. Sad topic, but one that we want to reflect on with some humor. Okay. Not too many times you could talk about a person's passing and bring in humor, but I think that's what this particular person would want, because he lived his life after his career with a lot of humor. Here it is. Legendary baseball announcer, Mr. Baseball, as he called himself, Bob Uecker, has passed away at the age of 90. People say, Bob Uecker, what football? No, baseball. Okay, this is baseball, but it's still sports, and it's something I wanted to bring in because I loved his humor and the way he could laugh at himself. Here we go. Uecker passed away at the tender age of 90. Euchre not only played baseball for the Milwaukee Brewers, he was also in movies and Miller Lite commercials after his playing days. The Brewers said in a statement, and I quote, "Bob loved people. He had a way of welcoming all of us into his world as if we were lifelong friends. Saying goodbye to Bob shakes all of us to the core. His passing now leaves us at a loss for our own very words," end quote. May he rest in peace. Bob Euchre, to me, I'm not a Brewers fan. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. But I loved Bob Euchre because he was one of us. He was funny. He laughed at himself. We're going to talk about, Spencer and I are going to talk about some commercials and some not, I was going to play a commercial, but because we got a super chat, which is fine, I'm not going to play it. But you guys can all go look it up on YouTube. It's called the Bob Euchre Miller Lite commercial. I must be in the front row. It is hilarious. He laughed at himself. I saw him recently after his passing. I went on to YouTube and looked up some Johnny Carson interviews with Bob Euchre, and he's funny. He's absolutely funny. He asked him, "What was your greatest batting average?" He said, "Oh, that was when I was in college. It was 315." And he goes, "Well, no, I meant in the majors with the Brewers. What was your best batting average?" He said, "Like I said, 315 in college." Stuff like that, just funny. But anyways, what Spence and anybody in the chat that remember any of those commercials or any parts of them, share what was one of your most favorite commercials about Bob Euchre.
I'm actually going to go to the movie Major League because everybody knows this line, just a bit outside.
Yeah.
I think Bob Euchre was one of those rare broadcasters that
kind of like Vince Scully.
Vince Scully, that made you want to listen to his broadcasts. So
Absolutely.
if the Rockies were ever playing against the Brewers and I had the baseball package on DirecTV, I would listen to the Milwaukee broadcast because Bob Euchre had a way of in making you feel like we try to do here. You're on the couch with us. You're having that discussion with us. You're part of the show.
Yep.
And he is going to be missed. Before there was ever the Mendoza line in baseball, there was Euchre.
Yep.
But he could look at himself, make fun of himself, laugh at himself, and keep you informed, keep you entertained, make you come out of a situation feeling better about yourself. And Bob Euchre, you know, this isn't Miller Lite, this is Kona, but rest in peace, my friend.
Absolutely. Amen. Yeah, my favorite commercial that I ever saw, Bob Euchre, and I was going to pull it up tonight, but actually we would get copyrighted and that would be a strike against the network, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, it's not good because then you start getting a reputation of doing something not going to do. But the commercial was Miller Lite, and because he played baseball, it was about him in a stadium, and he's walking in there, and he's like, you know, everybody knows who I am, and you know, he goes, I make a phone call to the front office, and I got the tickets and bingo, and he sits down, you know, like in the middle of the section, whatever, and then some guy, you know, usher comes up and goes, "Excuse me, you're in the wrong seat." He goes, "Oh, I must be in the front row." And then the very next scene you see, he's up in the upper level by himself going, "He missed the tag." How do you, it's just so hilarious. You guys got to go to YouTube, type in Bob Euchre commercials. They're classic. There's so many of them, man. KB82 is in the chat. KB82 said Major League was a family favorite. I've seen it 30 or 40 times. Wow. That's awesome, man.
Indians win it. Indians win it. Indians win it.
There you go. Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah, he was, you know, and that's what's great, in my opinion, that's what's great about people. If you can laugh at yourself and not take yourself so seriously, then life is more enjoyable. Life's more fun. Because if you're all uptight, you know what I'm saying? And Bob Euchre, I mean, think about it. You know, for him to be, there's another commercial I just saw yesterday before as I was getting all my notes and stuff together. Euchre, he's in this bar, and this guy, they're all surrounded around him, And he's like, and the guy goes, hey, let me, come on, man, let me buy you a beer. He's like, oh, thanks, man. He's like, oh yeah. He says, yeah, these guys all know me. He says, it's great to be recognized and known and everything. And then the guy says something, I forget exactly what it is. I could be totally messing it up, but it's kind of along that line where the guy says, oh, it's just great to have the great Hall of Famer. What's his name?
Berra, I think.
No, when Yogi, it was a Hall of Fame pitcher. It was Duke Snyder. He says, it's great to have Duke Snyder in the house. And he goes, would you sign the baseball? And he's like, yeah. And he's right. He goes, I thought you were left-handed. Oh yeah, that's right.
But that is Bob Uecker. Bob Uecker, my gosh, didn't take anything personally. Now I can hear my wife downstairs right now laughing and yelling at me like, ha, ha, ha. But we could learn a lot from Bob Uecker. Don't take life so personally. Just enjoy life. The ups, the downs, the good times, the bad times. Have fun.
Even
with
a
life.
Bronco loss is okay. We're okay. You know what? And I really don't want to tie this in, so I'm not going to pinpoint it. I'm going to do it as a general. But you know what, guys? Things could be so much worse. Just look to California. Just look to parts of California. Things could be much worse. Broncos lost a football game. Okay, big deal. All right. Yes, we as fans would have loved to see them be playing this weekend, but they're not. All right. Life could be so much worse, guys. And that's why I wanted to bring the Bob Uecker story in, because the way he treated life, his way, laughing, enjoying, making fun of himself. If think about it, people make fun of me all the time. If you don't embrace it, it's going to destroy you. And I embrace it, like my coworker who said, in fact, I'm going to get to this too, because I promised that I would mention this. He mentions, it's Christy. He mentions right here. He mentions Wishbone. Okay. So he says, yo, Wishbone, go. Okay. So that whole starts from, the heck was that? That whole starts from, I'm at the golf course, right? I'm working with Christy. Just real quick story, real quick before we get off. And it's a big full course tournament. And they've got these different booths. And there's one right next to me as I'm, getting my stuff ready and whatnot for the tournament, right next to me. And it's a body stretching or muscle stretching and getting you right. So I'm laying down. So they said, hey, there you go. They said, hey, you want to, you want to come in here? We'll give you a 15-minute or 10-minute thing for free. And I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to do that. So I'm laying down there. And of course, I got to kind of give you a visual so you guys will see, but this will be, Mike won't like this. But anyway, so I got my legs kind of like, I can't get them, but out like this, right? So anyways, I got this leg spread, and freaking Christy, who's a jokester anyways, the guy comes by and he looks at me, he goes like, hey, aren't you supposed to be working? And I said, yeah, I'm working on getting stretched. He goes, holy crap, you look like a freaking wishbone. You're all stuck out like this. I'm like, get out of here, man. So that's what that's all about. So anyways, that's what I wanted to bring up. I don't know why I did. Mike would probably go, oh God, there's another freaking story we got to listen to. But yeah, it's all good, man. But that's why the comment, yo.
I think what Bob Uecker taught us about life is enjoy life to the fullest. Enjoy it.
That's why I brought the topic.
Have fun, laugh a little. You're going to have ups and downs, but the best thing to do is just have a positive attitude, positive reinforcement, and go along life bringing love to everybody. Edmundo.
Edmundo, hey, thank you so much for being in the chat. First time, Spence. First time I've seen him. Thank you so very, very much for being in the chat. Really, really do appreciate it. Honestly, really, really do. Thank you so much. All right, guys. That about wraps up the show. Almost an hour and 20 minutes. You guys have been fantastic as always. The show would not be anywhere near as good as it is without your support, without you watching, without you subscribing, without you hitting the thumbs up, and without you being in the chat. You guys are the very backbone to this show. I thank you. I know Spence thanks you. The network thanks you. You guys are the best. Before we get out, Spence, one last comment you got before we go?
Live your life to the fullest. positive reinforcement, have fun, and enjoy everything with a positive spirit, like Bob Uecker did.
That topic brought to you by Spence and Kona. No, thanks, Spence. Hey, Spence, till next Friday, my friend. That's it, guys. That's all we have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. I would appreciate it. Spence would appreciate it. The network would as well. And guys, you are the absolute very best. Thanks once again for taking out an hour and 20 plus minutes of your time on a Friday night, first month of the 2025 year, calendar year, January. Thanks, guys. You absolutely are the heart and soul of this show. We absolutely appreciate it. We got shows every single week. I say every single one. Yeah, we do. We got shows every single day of the week. And until next Friday, unfortunately, no Broncos games, but until next Friday on Broncos Breakdown with myself and Kona Spence, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the football. Enjoy whatever you're doing. We will see you guys next Friday, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast's racking up the flame out. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.